Call Allah Yahweh Bahasham Yabashai Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Mills on the well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your life may be. I've said it once and I've said it 1,000 times. The more you read, the more you see. And I'm not claiming that this is something, some groundbreaking information, but it is just something that I do want to highlight for some newer folks like myself. It could be this, it's the same Bible, same words, same pages for thousands of years, and it flows effortlessly through people's lives. Like, when I say people, I mean those who are given the Spirit to understand, so they live the way the Bible's supposed to, the way they frame their lives, right, around these scriptures, all right, in spirit, in sincerity, in truth, right, not in some perverted, weird Christian manner that is just, anyway, whatever. But I went in and I asked Grok, because I was reading through the book of John, and I just made a correlation of 3. And we're not going to really go into like numerology or nothing like that. This is simply just a highlight of how there's little, hidden things in there and hidden messages. And if you have the Spirit, you can read through and see like, man, I can be forgiven, if I just, as long as I'm sincere, as long as I know, like, you fall, but you get back up, you repent, and you keep going. Man, there's so many different things. There's encouragement, there's, admonishment, there is judgment, there is all kind of things in these scriptures that you can find that you can tailor to your life. Not that you should, try to add this on top of whatever you're doing. As if you're doing some wickedness, you are supposed to subtract things. The Bible is a chisel and you are a giant rock, and the chisel is supposed to chip away at the things that are unprofitable so you can reveal your true form, right? So like I said, I typed in Grok here, and you have to say the J word, but I put in the Bible, what's the correlation of the cock crowing 3 times? All right, and in parentheses, Peter's denying, and Yahushua asking him 3 times if he loves him and to feed the sheep, right? So the connection, it says here, and we'll skim through it and grab the scriptures as we go. But this is just something I wanted to quickly cover. And just, maybe somebody, if you see this, you'll find other correlations. But here we go, right? It's one of the most poignant examples of intentional biblical parallelisms and the restoration in the New Testament. Now let's get that word poignant. All right, evoking a keenly felt sense of emotion, especially of bitter, sweet sadness or regret. And for one thing, right, what does it say? A man who's well acquainted with grief, right? And since we are no better than our master, that's in Isaiah. Acquainted, or is it with sorrow? Isaiah 53:3. So let's go to it real quick. Oh, 53:3. All right, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we are hid, as it were, our faces. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. All right. Surely he hath borne our griefs, and he has. All right. You can read through the 19th and the 20th. I believe the 19th chapter is the crucifixion, or maybe it's the 20th. We'll go back. But more so than that, I always think about when reading this, he knew the whole time. He knew who would betray him. He knew what was going to befall him. And through the midst of that, through mocking and scoffing niggas, because you know how niggas are, it's because it's the same ones that are here today. And he still went through it. He could have been like any one of us and like, I'm going back up to the right hand. I ain't doing this. You ungrateful niggas. No. But he knew the whole time and walked the walk and stood stiffly like a man. He wasn't a man, he was a deity. He had that spirit, he had the power of him, but he came as a man for all intents and purposes. But only him, Yahweh Shai, is the only one that could have done what he did, right? Okay, what did I say? We read despised and rejected men. We read that verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities. Possessive. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and Yahweh hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. And what way was given to what people? Okay, this is not a universal thing. I'm gonna keep reading, though. This is he was oppressed. I noticed that wasn't the point, but I'm not finna not. You know what I'm saying? Look, anytime you gonna give Yahweh Shai his just due, you got to give it. So we gonna finish until it changes the subject. All right, or until the intent is met here. Verse 7. And he was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb. Right? So he opened not his mouth. So he ain't really answered Pilate, and he ain't answered nobody. He was like, so they say you a king. What do you say I am? Did you hear from me, or did you hear from them? All right? Did you hear from the people I preached to? Straight like that. All right? He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. He made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He had put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, and he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. See that, man? Good grief, dog. Sometimes, like, when you try to envision these things, you get, I get a little emotional. I ain't gonna lie to you, but hey, let's get so let's get back to the point. But that was a worthy, not segue, but sidetrack or whatever. Okay, so all right, the two events side by side. So Peter denial thrice, all right, 3 times recorded in all 4 Gospels. So we'll just go to John 18 since we were already in the book of John, and we'll get that real quick. We'll just read through it. Judas betrayal, Yahweh Shai before the priest, Peter's denial, right? And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself, and they said therefore unto him, art not thou also one of his disciples? Well, okay, yeah, we'll read it, but it's a little bit farther up, because it tells him, Yahweh Shai tells him he's going to deny him. But so I want to read that, and then we'll get the actual, this part. We'll read it here anyway. All right, one of the servants with the, let me calm down. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. All right. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, art thou not also one of his disciples? He denied it, and said, I am not. One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith, did not I see thee in the garden with him? Peter denied him again, and immediately the cock crew. But I want to go up a little bit, because he tells him, you will deny me thrice. Let's try that. But we're in John, so where is it at? Oh, okay, we'll get it here. Jesus, Yahweh Shai said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. Yeah, he said, so that's in Matthew. I guess it's not in that same one. Okay, so yeah, you saw it there. And that's what he did, right? Okay, 3 denials, written in the gospel. Servant girl, second denial, another person recognizing, right? That was a servant. Third denial, bystander. Surely you are one of them, right? Peter curses and swears, I do not know the man, right? John 15 through 18, and then 25 through 27. So 18, we did that one. Okay, Simon Peter followed Yahushua. Stood the door without. And you're right, they were by a fire. That's another important thing. They were by the fire. Okay, yeah, so we read that part. Cool. Okay, and then on the second one, or the correlation here, Yahushua has already been crucified. Okay, so then he reveals himself a couple of times through to his disciples, right, those that were with him while he was here in the flesh, or should I say, as a man, basically pre-crucifixion. So we'll go to that, and that is John 21. So let's go to 21. Okay, he appears at the Sea of Galilee while they're fishing. Alright, the love motivation. Motivated by love. If you love me, keep my commandments. Right, is that where we're at? 21:15 through 19. Okay. Yep. So when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, hold on, let me go back up, because alright, they were fishing, because I want the fire part. They were, again, as he denied him by the fire, he told them 3 times, feed my sheep, because they were by the fire, right? Dragging the net with fishes, they would come to land. Yeah, okay, they saw fire, coals there, and the fish laid thereon and bread, right? So he breaking bread right here. Alright, and 3 times Yahushua asked him, okay, Yahushua provides, come and dine, and none of the disciples durst ask him, who art thou, knowing that it was the Lord. Yahushua then cometh and taketh bread and giveth him, and fish likewise, okay? This is now the 3rd time that Yahushua, look at it again, he showed himself 3 times, and that 3 keeps coming back, right? To his disciples, and after that he was risen from the dead. Okay, and what was it again? 3 days. They love saying that in the Christian church, on the 3rd day, which was to them Sunday, because I remember hearing that as a kid. And Sunday morning, all power in his hand, all that fucking bullshit. But anyway, so we'll go. Okay, yeah. So here it is, right here. Lovest thou me? All right, the love motivation. So when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? And he saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest I love thee. And he saith unto him, Feed my lambs. Okay, 2nd time, same thing, thou knowest. And he said unto him, Feed my sheep. All right, verse 17. He said unto him a 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was giving grief. Peter was grieved, and he said unto him the 3rd time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep. And I wonder, did Peter even pick up on this by the 3rd denial and how he asked him 3 times? And it almost seems like for every time he wanted, not that he wanted to make sure, but it was like a covering of every time that he denied him. So do you actually love me? And of course he does, right? And this thing here, I don't know, it's amazing to see this same Bible over and over. You read it, and then different things pop out at different times, okay? And it may just be a time in your life where you're looking like, man, I keep effing up. But there is forgiving, there's justice, there's mercy, there is judgment, all right, and there is correction, and there is chastisement, but there is also mercy. All right, there is also forgiveness for those who are sincere. And these are things you have to extrapolate, but you can only do so with the Spirit. And that's just something that people cannot understand because they don't have it. They think that you are crazy. They think you off your rocker, and that's fine. Let them. But you know full well within, okay, if you are sincere, you know This thing, this is a beautiful, beautiful gift that you have, or that we have. Okay, so the clear biblical correlation. So we went through that there. All right. John's gospel deliberately structures these scenes to mirror each other. Yeah. All right. The denial happened at night around the charcoal fire, which we just said, specifically mentioned. Okay, so let's get that. Let's go to that real quick. 18 and 18. What is that word? Because they're the same words. Oh, okay, so fire, a fire of coals. Is that what that looks like? I wish I could do it side by side, but it would cut the, what's this one? Okay. Alpha. Alright, so let's see. Huh. I don't know about that one. That says a fire of coals right here. Unless it's lowercase and they put it. That's it. Okay, it's just lowercase. Alright. A heap of burning coals. And I wonder, because there's also correlations even in that being a heap of burning coals as well. Man. Anthrachia?
439. Anthrakia.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to 21 where we were with the coals. Where were we at? Where were we at? Multitude of fish. This is not their time. What I just read where the coals were, there was a fire up here. Come to land. There you go, fire of coals. Okay. So let's see if it's the same one, and it is. Anthrachia. Anthrachia. Right, burning or live coals. Okay, but yeah. Let's continue on. I just wanted to grab that really quick, because sometimes you gotta you gotta fact check this thing here. There's this the third witness sometimes. Okay, he did it. Same word. Where was that Greek? Okay, the restoration also happens around the charcoal fire. All right. So same way. Yeah, it's like you know you correct. We put you in the same situation and you gonna correct it. All right. The phrase appears in the entire New Testament. The only two times this rare Greek phrase appears in the entire New Testament. This detail is not accidental. John wants the reader to remember the night of betrayal when the reading of the morning restoration. Dang. Yahweh intentionally giving Peter the opportunity to undo or reverse each denial with a confession of love and recommissioning to ministry. And what does he mean? What is it? Before we read on here with the deeper meaning, all right, well, how many times does he say, if you love me, keep my commandments? Why? Because he is in the volume of the book. Let's see. The genuine love is demonstrated through obedience to teachings and will. It suggests that following Yahweh's command is a natural and authentic expression of relationship built on love and respect, which it is. And that's why Christians always preach about love and love. But how do you measure what love is? What is your barometer? How do you know what love and hate is unless you have a guide? Meaning the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments, every precept that you read. All right. So he says in the book, in the 14th chapter. We'll go to that. Now, is this your salvation? No. The salvation is through grace and faith. But there is a way that you behave, right? You just can't do whatever you want and expect to get paid. When you show up to your job and you don't follow the rules, do you expect to get paid and not, or do you even expect to still keep your job? No. Same thing. when I say 15 and 14, right? Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. All right. This is my commandment that ye love one another, as I have loved you. And remember, we read before, did he speak any guile? Did he commit any sin as Yahushua at that time? No. He executed the law perfectly, thus freeing us from the bonds of the letter of the law. Not that you shouldn't follow it, but you are freed from being destroyed because you can't do it, especially being in captivity. There's absolutely no way you can do it. And anybody telling you that is a liar. Excuse me. Deeper meaning. Gosh. Complete forgiveness and restoration. Peter's threefold denial was the lowest point of his failure. By asking 3 times, Yahushua is not doubting Peter's love. He is giving Peter a chance to publicly affirm his love 3 times. Each time, for each denial, is like a repentance for each time. One for each denial, and thereby be fully restored. From failure to shepherd. Peter had boasted he would never fall away, and that's a thing. That's a point there for humility. You don't know what spirit will come upon you, and it may have just been a part of his walk, just for him to be complete and whole. Like, okay, you're a little cocky, so I got to show you that you are not exempt. And we've been there. I've been there in my life where I thought, like, Lord on my side, I'm good, and the Lord had to be like, hold on now. Now I'm finna afflict you because you're getting a little cocky. So it's a molding to make you fit to be a king and a priest on this earth. From failure to shepherd, okay. Now Yahushua recommissioned the failed disciple as the primary shepherd of his flock, alright? Grace triumphs over failure. And we need grace. Without it, we would be absolutely and utterly destroyed. And then this devil would be able to, do the injectable for the detectable, and then you'd be stuck in your house, dying slowly. But don't worry about it, because they got a pill for it. Or they got a little sticky thing for it. To live in the world that they are trying to make, death is better. Anyway, that's another subject for another day. Peter's grief on the third question. All right, John notes that Peter was grieved because Yahushua asked him a third time. The grief shows Peter remembers his 3 denials. So he did know. The third question hurts because it forces him to relive the 3rd denial. So it was a humbling experience, right? I'm gonna make you recall that, but we good. You did what you need to do. We good now. All right, Yahushua meets him exactly at that point of his deepest shame. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I pray that you were edified. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this, or you can look it up on your own. So you screenshot that, the correlation, okay, and then you can screenshot this. Here are your exact scriptures you can find, you can read. I even encourage maybe go through the commentary and see what else you can dig up, right? See what else you can find, what other correlations you can find. Matter of fact, let's look at this really quick. We ain't gonna spend that much time on it. This is something I just want to see. Oh, of the number. Three represents wholeness, totality, or divine completeness. I thought that was 7. But, okay. But, I mean, okay, his public ministry last 3 years, as they say. He prays 3 times in Gethsemane. He's in the tomb 3 days, yep. Okay. Okay, so maybe there's a difference between... okay, one more. Alright, look, this isn't because we already almost at 25 minutes, so here we go. But you gotta, you gotta probe rock real quick. Oh, okay. Both in size, different kinds. Okay, that's all right, dude. That makes sense. Okay. Divine completeness, human worldly completeness, finished cycles. Okay. All right. Man. Threefold question. Life completeness tried to third day pattern. Later, Peter preaches on the Pentecost, tells the crowd to repent and be baptized. 3,000 people. Okay. God's side, divine action, resurrection, heaven, bringing in, 7 creation side, earthly cycles, Sabbath, rest. Okay. Oh, amen. It looks like it makes sense. That looks like order to me. But yeah, you can. I suggest you go and you ask these probing questions, and you do have to form them a certain way. But with that being said, I pray that you're edified. Shalom.